JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 10th of September 2020. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Thursday's afternoon session where we can have a quick look at the markets, a few of the charts. Some of that we looked at this morning just to see how everything's getting along. But yeah, as always guys, before we do that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yeah, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. So a quick update here on German DAX to see what's happening. So the index did try to make its way higher initially, and today at the moment currently it's kind of trading fractionally in the positive territory, but not by much, to be honest. Nevertheless, we're still keeping an eye on this 13,314 level, where, as you can see, it came very close to testing that area, but it got held here and then started reversing back down. So as I mentioned to you guys this morning, for me, for example, in order to kind of aim for some higher levels, ideally I would like to see a push above this 13,314 territory marked by the highest point of July, and then aim for some higher levels. But again, until we get that break here, we're going to remain a little bit careful. Yes, we are still trading above this upside support line taken from the low of the 15th of June, but given that it's currently struggling with this barrier, yep, we'll probably remain somewhat cautiously bullish, I would say. So yeah, like I said, let's wait for that confirmation break. Now jumping into Nasdaq 100, and the index yesterday closed nicely and in the positive territory. It rebounded. So yesterday I talked about this index, and what I was saying that in a way, even if it travels back up here, as long as it stays below this upside support line, then we could see another round of selling. However, looking at the cash index right now and where it's currently balancing at, you can see that the price is currently sitting at around 11,500 zone. So basically it's going to be well above already yesterday's close, so somewhere around here, but still below this upside line and below this 21-day EMA. So again, keep your eyes on this one, guys. Could be quite interesting. And as I said, if this upside line now provides resistance, well, I mean, we could see, like I said, another round of selling. If you're more on the cautious side, you could wait for a drop below this 11,055 territory just to be on the safe side, because such a move here lower would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and yep, potentially more sellers could be joining in. But like I said, for now, we be very careful here near this upside line. If by any chance we get a further push north, then watch out for this little area right here near the 11,728 zone. A nice good pop above it may clear the path towards higher areas. So again, like I said, we are at a very interesting spot here. On one hand, it seems that maybe the bulls don't want to give up yet. However, on the other hand, we do have an overextended index here, so maybe a bit of a correction here to the downside could be quite healthy for this index. So again, all eyes are on this upside line and the 21-day EMA, but if it starts breaking above all that and climbs above the 11,728 zone somewhere around here, then yes, we could consider the upside again. Now DXY, a quick update on the dollar index. Yesterday it did move higher, almost managed to reach that 93.81 zone that I talked about previously, which is the lowest point of September 2018, but as you can see, it failed to reach that area and started shifting back down. However, the more important thing is that it started dropping back below the 21-day EMA. So it took it a while. It was hard. It looked like it was hard for this index to move above that 21-day EMA. So eventually it did move higher, but as you can see, yesterday everything turned around, and now, if I'm not mistaken, we're trading in the red for the week. Is that correct? Yes. So now today's move lower kind of brought the weekly candle into the negative zone, so for the week. So of course we'll keep an eye on it tomorrow, and we'll see how all this is going to play out. But just to let you know as well, guys, tomorrow there won't be any Traders Espresso nor tea time. Will resume on Monday, and but yourselves, guys, keep your eyes on the dollar index, because like I said, it is quite interesting. Most likely it might end up the week somewhere just kind of in nowhere's land here, just basically flat maybe for the week. But again, let's not over speculate. Let's see how it's going to behave tomorrow as well. But for now, not everything is looking good here, so in a way it could drift a little bit lower. But have a look at this RSI. As you can see, we're still within an uptrend, so maybe this move lower right now could be seen as a temporary correction. So yep, again, we'll keep an eye on this, like I said, on this uptrend here on the RSI and the MACD. But if this uptrend gets broken, then, well, I mean, maybe the bulls are not as strong as I thought they could be initially. So let's keep an eye on this one, like I said, and keep your eyes on this one tomorrow. Now, jumping into gold. Gold is doing quite well, and this is where I was saying that this morning, that if we and yesterday as well, that if we get a push back above this 1950 territory, then there is a possibility we could see this one pushing further north. However, from the very short-term perspective, keep your eyes on this little short-term tentative downside resistance line taken from the high of the 18th of August here. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a very tentative one, but nevertheless, it kind of comes very close to this area here, the 1976 level that I've mentioned before. And in a way, yes, for now, this commodity could continue drifting higher towards this downside line, towards this 1976 mark. But if it struggles to overcome it, now this is where it could become very interesting, because then we will have to see who's gonna take control here. Will it be the bears, or will it be the bulls? But if we get a break of this downside line and a push above this, and we didn't get a daily close above this 1976 zone, then well, I mean, higher levels could be met. But for now, like I said, be very careful, and let's see how all this is going to play out. Jumping into Ripple. Ripple is pushing higher today. However, it's not a strong move higher. Excuse me. It's not a strong move higher. Initially, what I was saying, that with Ripple, basically, in order to maybe to consider some higher levels, at least a push back above the 0.2550 territory here, marked by the low of the 27th of August, could do the trick for more buyers. But of course, if it doesn't get here to this level, and if it doesn't break above it, well, I mean, maybe not all is that good here with the buyers. But even with the downside, to be honest, we cannot really talk about any lower levels until we get a nice clear daily close here below this 0.2357 zone, because as you can see, that's the highest point of April, and at the moment it continues to provide decent support. Keep getting these overshoots, but we don't really get a daily candle remaining below this area, neither the 200-day EMA as well. So that's why if you want to look at some lower levels, wait for a good drop below the 0.2357 territory here. Then yep, we could consider a bit of a larger correction to the downside towards this upside support line taken from the low, the 13th of March. Jumping into a few pairs, AUD, JPY, quick update here. Let me just actually clear up the chart. Now, the positive side, on the positive side, is that the pair is making a return here. Now, if we look at actually at the 4-hour chart, you can see the nice V recovery here, V-shaped recovery. But to be honest, as before, kind of aiming for some higher levels, well, ideally we would like to see a push at least above this barrier here, the current highest point of this week, near the 77.65 70.5 zone, roughly around here. And if we do get a nice push above this, this first of all confirms a forthcoming higher high, confirms a new high for this week, and then yep, we could take it from there. Because the path towards the highest point of August near the 78.46 level could be open. So yep, guys, for now, keep your eyes on this barrier. So let's see how all this is going to work out. But if we get a nice push above it, then yes, higher levels could be met. In terms of the downside, we would prefer to wait for a drop below the 76.12 zone, which is the current lowest point of this week, and then aim for further declines. But until at the moment, it seems like that the downside could be slightly off the table. USD/CHF continues to slide perfectly, and it's dropping further below this 0.9073 territory. I talked about this level yesterday. In the beginning of this week, I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on this short-term downside resistance line. This morning, I was telling you guys to keep an eye on this support zone here. We were trading already this morning below this 21-day EMA, but as you can see, it nicely continues to slide here. And if this is where it's going to be very interesting to see if the daily candle will remain below this 0.9073 territory. If it does, then well, it could open the door towards that 0.9010 zone or even below that. So for now, keep your eyes on that one. Of course, don't get me wrong, similar story as with DXY here. We do have a bit of a divergence, I would say. We do have this upside line here on the RSI, and the same story. We have this this upside line here that we can draw on the MACD. So that's why be very careful for now. I mean, if these two lines get broken, then yep, lower levels here could be met. GBP Aussie, so this one I've mentioned this one as well, and this morning I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on this area right here, because that's what I was saying this morning, that my target for now is this 1.77 territory, and as you can see, we're very, very close to that. So in a way, everything is looking quite nice here for the sellers, and the big question here is, will this 1.77 territory provide decent support? If it does, we could see maybe a bit of a rebound here, or maybe a bit of a correction, but if it gets broken, this would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and the next support level to keep an eye on could be this lowest point of July 2019 near the 1.7562 zone. So keep your eyes on that one. And like I said, but for now, of course, the main focus is on the 1.77 level. Let's see if that provides decent support or not. If we get a nice rebound, as I said, we could see maybe a bit of a correction here back up. But if it fails to provide support, well, the 5.62 zone is the next one to watch. Euro against the Russian Ruble is something that you probably don't look at very often, but just to kind of wanted to show you, sometimes these pairs do present themselves with nice opportunities, but at the moment you can see that the pair managed to get back to the levels last seen here in March, towards this 90.09 level, and it did find resistance again here, although it did overshoot it a little bit here, but it did found resistance again, and you can see that now the rate is sliding to the downside once again. Of course, somebody might say maybe this is starting to form a potential kind of a double top here, but to be honest, it's too early to talk about that idea for now. For now, what we're going to do here is, first of all, we'll keep an eye on this this upside support line taken from the low of the 24th of February. From the short-term perspective, we'll keep an eye on this little upside support line right here, taken from the low of the 12th of August. Now, if that gets broken and we see the rate falling below this upside line, this would also place the rate below the 21-day EMA, and this is where more sellers could be joining in. So keep your eyes on this one. Very interesting, very interesting moment here. But of course, if this little short-term upside line does provide support, we see a nice reversal here. If you want to aim for some higher levels, wait for that confirmation break above that 90.9 well, let's round it up towards the 10 zone, and then yes, we could aim for some higher levels. Euro dollar here is popping nicely to the upside, and as you can see, it's moving comfortably above this 1.1815 level. This morning I was talking about this idea, and to be honest, in the beginning of this week as well, I was saying that if we get move lower and then find support near this upside line taken from the low of the 14th of May, then of course keep your eyes on this barrier here, the 1.1815, which if it gets broken could open the door back towards this 1.1965 territory, or even the psychological 120 zone. But for now guys, yes, everything's looking quite nice here for the bulls. Let's see if they can drive this pair towards this 1.1965 level. That's going to be my initial target, and then we'll pick up I'll pick up from there, see what it wants to do after. Maybe, like I said, just there will be just a few points higher that it could reach that psychological 120 zone again, and if that fails to provide resistance, well, I mean, this could continue rallying here and pushing further north. So again, guys, for now, let's keep an eye on this one. Let's see how all this is going to play out. But for now, everything's looking quite positive here for this pair. So guys, once again, just a quick reminder that tomorrow there won't be any Traders Espresso nor Tea Time. I will resume on Monday, but I hope you have a fantastic trading day. Stay safe, guys. Don't overtrade, and yeah, have a nice weekend. See you later, guys. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.